to another scene set in the Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. Tonight, we set our scene on one of the upper floors within the infamous Shard. In a high-class restaurant set in the building's upper levels, overlooking the rest of the city. You have all been invited to this lovely venue by Miss Eileen Spillane. Whom reached out to you after you responded to her request for a job that needs doing. And when you all enter, you see, actually, yeah, you see a sort of a very it's a rather it's a smallish restaurant, given that it's within the Shard. There's not too much room space. But there's a lot of varnished tables, just extremely stylish in general. And you can see Miss Spillane sat having a drink on a table overlooking the London Bridge.
Chris, can we do some kind of, because obviously several of us are in the same covenant, etc. Can we do some kind of role to identify who she is, where she stands, like why is this person of any interest whatsoever? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roll me wits plus politics.
Can we add our Invictus status to it because we're trying to identify stuff about our clanmate or our covenant mate?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're a member of the Invictus, I'll let you add your status as bonus dice.
I got a success.
I got 2.
Look at us go.
Well, let me fail this because I got a feeling that well, actually, kind of my thing to fail. Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. So, for everyone who succeeded, you know that Lady Spillane is Ventru Neonate, who has been residing in London for about a decade now. She's gone back and forth between London and Dublin and seems to be acting as a go-between for the two domains. Within the Invictus, she's known to be particularly connected with various charitable institutions and organizations. And is a low-level media personality that appears on the news every now and again. Yep, that is what you know. When she sees you, she will put her gloves back down on the table. And she will just look directly up at you. Takes a moment to gauge Phineas, as Phineas is particularly large. So she sort of looks up at you, and then her head tilts up a little bit higher to meet Phineas's eyes. And she'll say, I didn't expect quite the audience. Please, pull up a seat.
Phineas looks for a chair that he thinks will hold his girth.
What's his size?
Currently, that's a good question. It's been a minute since I looked. 9?
No such seats exist.
I have to get those special made.
Yeah.
He'll just kind of look at. Yeah, he'll just look at the chairs and say, I think I'll stand, thank you.
Very well.
Just a kind of a quick question, just so I can kind of measure this, Chris. So she's a neonate, but where do both of our relevant statuses sit? Is she higher status than me? Am I higher status than her?
She's your
in our Okay. Balthazar will take a seat. He has his cane with him that he just kind of leaves against the seat before he kind of pents his gloved fingers together. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Spillane.
Likewise. Would you like anything to eat or drink?
Quite alright.
I, for one, I was just trying to be polite. I, for one, am fine. Thank you.
I'm quite alright. Phineas has just kind of decided to stand behind Balthazar's chair, because, you know, them boys.
Well, I just got here, but I'm good. I don't want anything. But thanks for asking.
Oh, I see. Very well then. I'm sure you're all wondering why I've been attempting to reach out to the rest of the domain.
Do tell.
I have a particularly sensitive matter that needs resolving. And I need capable kindred who are willing to make some necessary sacrifices in order to deal with the problem.
Sally just raises a brow at that, but she doesn't say anything.
Do go on, Miss Spillane. I'm sure we're all over Twitter, but would like details.
It's a security job. Although it might be a little bit more complex than the ones you're used to. I'd like you to keep an eye on an individual for me. And what she does is she pulls a photo out of her jacket. Oh, I haven't even given you. Miss Eileen's face claim. I should just do that. But she just pulls out a photo. And places it on the table. And it's a photo of a woman who looks to be in her early 20s. Shoulder length, ginger hair, quite pretty. Thin line of freckles on her face. Bright hazel eyes. This individual is an associate of mine. And I've begun to hear offhand about how they've had some rather unpleasant encounters with various powers around the domain. I would like to know why.
But that sounds a little vague, like is there any certain type of people or person somewhere specific in the domain, or who would, like, what are we talking here? Because, you know, like, it could be anyone by the description, kind of.
What do you need details on? Pete?
Well,
She asked you what you needed details on.
She just said that she was meeting with certain people in the domain, right?
No, they were being bothered by certain powers within the domain.
Ah, okay.
who is bothering them?
Police, certain anonymous online personalities. She's even been pulled aside by some passers-by, or by random strangers occasionally. Nothing she could not handle, from what I've been told. It's a growing concern.
Chris, next question. This is more of an OTIC question. Is there, because it does look like there is there a strong family resemblance between the two?
Roll me a wit's composure. It's a photo, so it It's a pretty good photo though. It's not a bad one. It's not blurry or anything. So, just wits plus composure.
Oh, that's hard to roll. I'm an idiot.
You got a single 6. Good job.
2 successes, Chris.
Okay. 2 successes. You can see it. I mean, they definitely share some similar qualities. Like same hair color, freckles, similar, same eye color.
I'm not a man who believes in beating around the bush, Miss Spillane. Is this your daughter?
No, but I have my reasons for keeping their identity anonymous.
Like,
Roll me
question.
with sympathy if you like.
Question. Would this be like? Do you want this person to be able to continue their work as before, as to be more anonymous than they are currently, or do we need to find whoever's doing it to stop them, as long as it is not, problematic with local, the domain? What are we talking?
I don't wish their life to be interfered with any more than it already has been.
Right.
They're already being harassed by the police and random internet strangers.
Yeah, it's the internet. That's kind of how it works.
In any case, I would vastly prefer if you kept your distance.
That's 3 successes, Chris, by the way. Sorry, continue.
She seems genuine. In any case, if you did directly interfere, I wouldn't want you to risk tipping off whomever or whatever is doing this. It may be nothing, but I need to be sure. I do not wish to interfere myself. I am a known quantity within the mortal world.
Very well. We will, of course, require a dossier on this individual, aka knowing who they are in a grander sense, where they live, etc. And to be left to it. We will make it so that the threats and all other and sundry stop. But the question is, we're business people after all, what are you willing to pay for our time?
When as I said, when I reached out to you via Messenger, I'm happy to remunerate you financially, or she tilts her head. And materially for your time.
I'm a man, Miss Spillane, who has all the money in the world and no more need of more of it.
Oh, of course. I understand you would be more interested in political access.
Access, yes. I tell you what. Balthazar, he's been playing with a knife that's just on the table. You know how restaurant knives they just leave on the table? He's just kind of been playing with it absent-mindedly in one hand with He kind of looks up at Phineas and he says, "Do you want money or do you want something more intangible?"
Hmm. The plans I have require money, so I suppose that.
Very well. He's got because what she's asking him to do is going to involve a lot of time, aka looking at something and possibly putting himself in danger in the event he has to go and stop it. So, would it be fair to ask for a major boon, Chris?
You're not sure. She seems to be saying that she'll reward you all either financially, so with money, lots of it, or with some manner of uh, influence, mortal influence.
Very well. Actually, yeah, no, that's fine with Balthazar. He'll say, "Very well, I will take the influence off it, or the door's open. The others are free to make whatever deal they want." He leans back in his chair.
Chris, question: is the woman in the picture the same woman that I've already been looking into via Blue Books?
One second, let me find your blue books real quick. Yes.
Ah,
I, I like money. Like, that could work for me. That's fine. Actually, right now it would work really well. Um, yeah, yeah, that sounds good. Um,
well, my price will remain the same. I do still need some more distance to my Miko savings. Yeah, also we'll look around. And from last I recall looking into this matter, harassers seem to be all connected to the Caduceus, the staff of homies with the serpents. It's as far as I could get though.
I'm aware of your pro contributions.
Good.
However, if you do end up running into anything resembling such symbology again, do please let me know.
That's the only symbology I've encountered though. Thus far, I do not know what it means aside from its connection to the medical field.
She gives you an unsatisfied look with that explanation.
Possible just kind of looks back at Rose like, kind of shrugs, like, please enlighten me.
I employed you to enlighten me, and now we are here.
That's fair.
It's not fair, it's disappointing.
Yeah, indeed.
And you, Master Goodwin, what might you desire for your troubles?
Sorry, I had to step away for a minute. I missed where we're at.
She's just asking you what you might want for your time and effort in resolving this matter.
I have an event planned. I just need time and the finances to pay for it. So if you could assist with that, I would consider it a fair trade.
Consider it done. Although I implied as such earlier, I will say this straight to you, so you may all understand. I do not expect this individual's life to be tampered with or interfered with in any way. If I learn that any of you have, consider our arrangement void.
Balthazar will raise a single finger before he will say, "May I propose a counter to your aforementioned statement?" He puts the knife down on the table and kind of just very very gently just polishes it with a napkin so that his fingerprints aren't, or so that his there's no marks on it before maybe then he says, "What I had intended was how best to phrase. I have no intention of interfering with the girl's life in any way. However, should she be bothered again in a more physical manner, you don't want her interfered with. How do you feel about her developing a friendship?" Nothing more.
I stand by my prior statement.
As you like. It just means that it becomes more difficult. It means it becomes more difficult because you want degrees of separation. But he shrugs. It's doable.
We can do most of the things without ever getting near her, so it shouldn't be really a problem.
I'm sure you're all more than capable enough for the task.
Of course.
Quite so.
Well then, you have my contact information. I'd prefer any information regarding this matter be delivered to me by courier. I have a Dropbox.
Considering the current embargo about discussing our affairs in public, I should think that that's more than likely, or even in digital media, I should think that that's more than likely for the best.
Hence why I prefer to talk about this in person. She likes to drop by a cafe after work. On a weekend, she often drops by the various nightclubs in Soho. She has a couple of favorites.
Can I ask a question? If you don't want us to get anywhere near her, why is that relevant? Do you want us to go snoop, but not talk to her?
if you believe you can resolve this matter without needing to even directly observe her, then I would find that much more preferable. I would simply rather you'll remain at a distance.
I'm led to understand. He says, I'm led to understand, Miss Natalia, you're quite good with computers and other and sundry. Could you find out who was bothering her online, and then perhaps myself and Mr. Goodwin could go and pay them a cordial visit?
Was kind of planning on being the case, yes.
Good. Good.
Good. I could actually make it pretty much impossible for them to ever bother her again, but I mean, a visit works as well. I mean, it's really up to you. Kind of. Well, depending on who it is, but do you have any? Does it seem focused on her, or is it related to you? Is that also? Do you want us to not poke into that, or do you definitely want us to look into whether or not it's related to you that she's being bothered? Because that could make it considerably harder to stop, depending on who is looking into it, who is after her.
Oh, pardon, I didn't quite catch the tail end of that.
She's asking whether or not she wants to know who is stalking her online, or if she definitely does not want us to look into that, because that could make it more difficult or easier depending on who it is.
All I want is the matter resolved.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
A query. Master Percival, have you been involved in this little dance prior to this, based on something that was said?
I have.
Would you care to share with the class?
I will share again, yes. From what I understood of this matter when I looked into it, the people that were bothering he'll point to the girl in the photo, all seem to be different. It was never the same person twice or so. It was all, but the only connection I could find was they all had some sort of connection to the Omnic staff.
Fascinating. Well, Miss Natalia, it would seem you have your work cut out for you.
Yep. Well, I like a challenge. Well, not always. Sometimes I do. Yeah, yeah. You should be somewhat DC. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Well, if you'd like to work your magic, I have a car downstairs, and we can go and deal with this matter in one fell swoop.
Yeah. Well, it's not as instantaneous as you might think. Not really. It will take a bit of setup. I need to find her. Um, she looks to Miss Spillane. She just says, "Do you wouldn't like? Would there be anything you would be willing to say, like her email address or something like that?" She won't know anyone is looking into it.
She just She just says, "What did I just say about interfering with her life?"
She won't know. It's fine. Look, it will be like a. You know what? It's fine. I'll do it out. It's fine. It's challenging. It's fine.
All I wish to know is why she's beyond this. Who was harassing her and why.
You got it. It's fine. I
And
got
why
this.
she's
I got
drawing
it.
so much attention to herself.
Fine. Okay. Cool. Cool. Totally cool. Got it. Just have lots of yeah. I
Very
need
special
some.
guest.
I need some money. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm good.
When you say you need money, Balthazar will reach into his wallet and pull out what I will refer to as a Balthazar amount of cash and place it down in front of you.
Hey, look, hey, thanks, but like it was not really what I meant. But she looks at it, looks at you, and so like,
It's up to Chris how much money Balthazar could conceivably have in his wallet.
it's
Hard
like if you don't
Huh?
need it, if you don't need it, I would. I
Yeah,
mean,
if you just
nice
stacked
gift,
your wallet full of 50s, you could have a few thousand.
You know what? Yeah, he'll just casually 1,000 table. There you go. Resources 5, motherfucker.
Thanks. That's really nice of you, and a bit odd. If I not want to sound ungrateful or anything, but it is a little odd, you know.
Oh, I thought you said you needed money to do this task. Vis-a-vis, I was making sure you had.
It was more in general. It's recently like I just need money, kind of.
Oh. You can keep that anyway, it's pocket change.
She kind of, her eyes just like eyes you a bit. She says,
If you look into
"Sure."
Balthazar's financial history, which I have no doubt Natalia can do, he literally just made like a multi either billion or hundred millions of pounds worth of a deal. He's good.
Right. Okay. She just a little reluctantly just kind of like slowly moves a hand over to the money, looks at you, and just takes it and just like, okay, that's all right, fine. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. Very generous. Yeah. So I have a thing to do. But yeah. So she looks around people and she just goes. So I'm going to go somewhere else and do a thing. Unless there is anything else.
Oh, I urge you to make use of the respective tools at your disposal.
Yeah, I mean, I can get certain things, but yeah, of course. Natalia just kind of looks at, like she's clearly unsure if the expectation is that she starts working now, or is it like
that is somewhat the expectation, yes.
because obviously she looks a bit put on the spot and is not quite sure what's happening. But yeah, she just goes, okay, sure. And she fishes out a laptop and will begin to get to work, but this will not be something she will be able to do right away unless Chris will correct me and that is something she can begin working on right away.
What are you specifically trying to do right now? And I'll tell you.
The thing is, Natalia is going to look, she's going to prepare to not be seen. So this woman is not noticing that she's being, like, someone is looking into it. And she is going to see exactly if, first of all, she's going to see if her email or personal computer has been breached in some way. And then she's going to look at what has been her activity. And after that, she might be able to she will do some other things that will be a little bit more esoteric, but hey.
Okay. That would probably be a wits computer roll or maybe like a intelligence computer roll to find that information.
Intelligence, wits, computers, and one more for my specialty thingy, right?
Yes.
One success.
Oh,
Jesus.
you only need the one. It's the beauty of the system. You only need one. So, I will give you, I'll give you the private information first. You were just sort of looking into her online profile, right?
Well, has her computer been like, is there something embedded in her, like, is someone else looking into what she's doing?
Okay. Um, from what you can see, with just like a few minutes of just immediately looking into this individual, tracking down a profile actually takes some time because you've really only got a face to go off of, and that's not very useful when it comes to tracking people online. You do find a profile matching the face on the photo. And it's just called Bridget. It's a little Twitter profile, a few links to link to Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. And they seem to be drawing a lot of attention online, but they don't really seem to be doing anything to earn it. Like they seem to have a cute few pictures of their friends and stuff, and a few
There's
retweets
an
of
unusual
some
unusual
media
amount of traffic.
personalities. Yeah, it's just it's not even that their following is particularly that big. It really isn't. Um, it's relatively large. Like you'd imagine this person to be some sort of like low-level social media personality based on their follower account, but they don't appear to be. It's not like they're a streamer or a YouTuber or an influencer or anything. At least that you can't, not from what you're seeing online. Um, you see, You think you think that the Arcana is being specifically targeted? A lot of the responses, given the base similarities between all of them, you don't think they're people? You think this is a bot farm?
Shit.
Um, you reckon it might be multiple, which is a bit strange. There's a few tweets about being pulled over by the cops. She didn't seem to appreciate it that much. But nothing that would warrant this degree of attention. For the most part, this just appears to be just a relatively normal person with an online profile with the occasional hot take.
Natalia will just look at it and just go, that's weird. By the looks of it, it's not people well, it's someone doing it, but by my guess, it would be like bots, like bot farm somewhere. Someone wants her to have more attention than anything here would suggest, which is strange.
As an aside, on her one of her profiles, it has her as a graphic designer at the Spillane Foundation. With your power over interface, it probably shouldn't be too difficult to shut down a botnet.
I want to learn a bit more about it because we need to know exactly who's doing it. I would be able to shut it off, sure, but if I just shut it off without knowing anything, we're not gonna get any smarter about it. And if we don't, it could start up again in like half a year, maybe less.
Could you trace these bots?
Well, they could be half around the world, and it could be someone in the city doing it. Where the computers are, it doesn't really matter. No, I need to dig a bit deeper to find out exactly who's coordinating this. It seems odd. Looking into that, where this is coming from, that would take more time. That's not something I could do right now, is it? Or I guess if I could use interface to it, but I don't know if I can.
If you wanted to look more deeply into it, you probably just need to take the night to deal with it, as it would require sifting through a fair bit of information.
Yep.
It's not necessarily accessing the information. Again, your prowess over technology is...
It's the analysis.
Yeah, it's really just sifting through all of the chaff that will just waste some of your time, and then applying some of the more tangible evidence that you gather to make something, to apply it in some practical fashion.
So, Balthasar, I don't think you'll be visiting, sadly, anyone tonight, but rest assured, in a day or two, I will have probably know who's doing this, where it's coming from. The attention online, well, once I know who it is and we can have a talk with them, I can shut off pretty much the automated noise that is coming. I can shut down that pretty easily afterwards.
Raises a single finger to you before he'll say, "Query: is the amount of security that you're seeing for a lot? Is it more than you would expect?"
It's not security. It's the attention. It's the focus. Like it's probably more. Maybe it's more than one bot farm against a single no one person. I mean, that's normally done against you know corporations or public figures or campaigns against political figures, something like that. But this is just a person. Unless, of course, it is someone who knows that this person is associated with someone they would wish to annoy. And she doesn't look at Miss Spillane, but almost. That would be my guess.
Then may I make a suggestion? You believe it will take you a day or two to crack, yes?
To know exactly who the sender, or whatever you want to call it, is. Yeah, where it's originating from.
Well then, I believe that we will simply make sure that you, because I guarantee something about this has set my teeth on edge. And when you're a vampire, that's the most lethal concept. I have an apartment here in the Shard, one of the most secure buildings in all of London. He flicks Natalia the keys, just very nonchalantly, and he says, "Do your work from there in case they backtrace you. No one's going to come kicking in a door here."
Okay. I can do that. Kevin looks.
I am right in that assessment, Chris. Like trying to kick in a door in the Shard to be idle, right? I've been to that building. I've seen its security.
It depends. If it were people trying to, if it were criminals, then absolutely, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't be able to get in at all. As you said, the security's ridiculous. However, if police were to enter the search warrant, then there wouldn't be much they could do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but it's still, as I said, we're not 100% sure what we're dealing with here. So I'm assuming it's I'm assuming it's to do with kindred, and kindred might be able to come in, but it'd be much more difficult for them to send, goons in the middle of the day to brutally murder everyone if they trace the IP or something.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't be able to send in goons to an apartment in the Shard. The Shard is very well secured. A kindred who are to approach at night with the appropriate skill set might be able to break in. The Maquette are notorious for this. And a Dava and Aventry probably could, although they'd likely leave a trail unless they were careful. Hell, even a Nosferatu definitely could. Even the Gangrel could, in theory. But it would definitely be a tricky approach for them.
So yeah, I'm happy to give you basically my apartment to do your hacking in, because it means that it's less likely that as people are just going to find you in the middle of the day and light you on fire. Helping,
comforting, and great. And she just gives you a thumbs up with a bit of an upgiving smile on her face. Sure, I will stay here, and yeah, that's going to. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. There will be no problem. Sure, yeah, of course. I'm not. She looks at the keys, looks at you. You know what? Yeah, I'll get to work unless there's something else, Miss Spillane.
No, I believe you're already well on your way to resolving the matter I set out for you. I certainly wouldn't want to keep you from doing so.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Well then I will be going. Is there like room service here, or is it like normal apartments?
Both.
There are a number of apartments and hotels within the Shard. It depends on which one I suppose you approach.
I'll
I think
figure out something. I just need a drink at some. It's fine. It's not a problem. I'll figure something out.
Most of the restaurants here will close soon. You may need to take your appetites elsewhere, I'm afraid.
Whiskey. I mean, I think that's. Some, I'll figure it out. It's fine.
my apartment has a liquor cabinet. Feel free to raid it.
Deal. She just says. All right. I'll get going so no one has to wait any further or any longer than needed. Yeah, you know how to contact me. I will be going.
Well, Miss
And then
Natalia, I certainly wish you luck, and the rest of you as well. I'm sure while Miss Natalia is very busy investigating and online, the rest of you will be taking a more grounded approach, I assume.
And
they can do that. Like, I'm not going to stop them. I mean, it's just.
Well then, I myself do have business to attend to now, so if I may, I very much appreciate you acting on my behalf. And I hope this matter can be resolved soon.
I believe it will be. I mean, yeah, we're like we're really good and super professional and stuff.
That I have no doubt. Then, gentlemen, lady, I shall be on my way. And she'll go to take her leave. Presumably none of you actually stop her.
no.
Then
Oh, I'm really
Oh.
sorry.
Then you're all generally left to your devices to investigate this matter how you see fit. Whether you do it.
By the way, before the people leave, Natalia will just stop and just say, by the way, if any of you go to the place where she hangs out or goes drinks or hooks up with people or whatever, and she fishes out a USB drive, just a small nondescript USB drive. She just says, if you can put this into a working like staff computer in those places, I might be able to get a little bit more out of that place. It's just if you get the opportunity. I'm not saying that you should or can or whatever, but just saying if you're going to see, like, then I can get a lot more out of the local area, like their working computers or whatever might. Yeah, yeah, something like that.
So, yeah. Is this where you want us to basically break up and do things in our blue book, Chris, or what do you want to do from now?
Yeah, basically, we're just going to end the scene here. Then you can all separate and make various blue books. Some of you can obviously cooperate on these blue books if you like. And then you can reconvene at a later date and show what you find and act. Or if you or you can also
Is
make
that
it a scene
EXE has
if you
stopped
want as
working?
well. Also, what was that, Pete?
I'm really happy that I've just So I just posted a thing on sales about obviously doing a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Still.
Because fun fact, I used to work for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and every year I give them a donation.
Sorry, I was just muted for some reason. I apologize for interrupting. I didn't know I was muted.
It's fun, but it's gotten traction, so I'm happy with that now. Sorry, continue.
That's great.
So yeah, did you catch what I said? Basically, yeah, we're going to end the scene here, and then you can make blue books. If you want, you can also have scenes on doing your investigations. You can, of course, cooperate on either the scenes or the blue booking. We're going to end the scene there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.